So we transitioned to a very related topic, privacy and security in the Internet of Things, with Mr. Travis LeBlanc. He's the former Chief of the Enforcement Bureau of the Federal Communications Commission and currently a partner with Boyce Schiller. Travis.
It is an honor to be here in Sofia, and I want to say thank you to the Webit Foundation, to Nelly and Pop for the invitation to be here. I've actually had the benefit over the years of being able to attend and speak at a lot of tech festivals, South by Southwest, Black Hat, CES I've been to, and I can say with 100% confidence that this is the most hospitable festival that I have ever been to. And so I want to say thank you for putting this on. This is a great event, and it's a real thrill to be here with all of you. My name is Travis LeBlanc. I'm currently a partner at Boyce Schiller, which is an international law firm. I work in Washington, D.C. and our Silicon Valley office, where I counsel clients on issues around cybersecurity and privacy, but also the intersection of technology and regulation. However, prior to my current job, I was the Chief of Enforcement at the Federal Communications Commission, where for the prior 3 years, I led the FCC's enforcement efforts in a number of different areas, but most importantly, for here in the area of ensuring that we have free and open access to the internet, a concept that most of us know better as net neutrality. And the FCC about 3 years ago issued regulations to prevent broadband internet service providers from controlling the access that consumers have to the internet, from choosing winners and losers on the internet, choosing which websites or apps we can use, slowing down or creating special fast lanes for others. And having walked around here for just a few days, I can see that virtually every single startup that is out there pitching investors here is trying to build something on the internet. They're all connected to something. I tried to find one that wasn't connected, and the closest I came was a bar, a nutrition bar that one could eat. But everything else relies upon a thriving internet ecosystem. About a year ago, the FCC also, a little bit less than a year, adopted regulations to protect broadband privacy, to ensure, in particular, that consumers know what information our internet service providers are collecting about us, what they're doing with that information, and to prohibit them, without our consent, from selling that information to the highest bidder, whether that may be an advertiser that wants to market to us, or whether it may also be a foreign government or any other entity that wants to do it. Unfortunately, last month, you may have heard that the new Republican government reversed those privacy regulations, now leaving internet service providers the freedom to sell any American consumers' browsing history, their app usage, their location to the highest bidder, wherever that may be. When it comes to, for a lot of people, that is a scary concept. When you think about how much information is contained in your smart device, a lot of times I often say in public, just think about who knows you better, your spouse or your phone. And almost always everyone immediately gets it's the phone that has a lot of information about them. So today, though, I am not here so much to talk to you about the network and privacy and security, but instead to talk to you about the Internet of Things and the devices that are connected to the Internet. There has been an overwhelming growth in the billions of devices that are connected to the Internet. Most of these, with more devices now connected than ever before. And when I'm thinking about these devices, I'm thinking about everything from your smartphone to your toaster, to your toothbrush, or even your hairbrush. You know, the Internet of Things is a massive connected system of devices. And I actually want to take a moment to stop to talk about this hairbrush, which I saw this year at CES in Vegas. And it's going to be weird, you know. We have to think about whether everything needs to be connected to the internet, and in particular, whether we need hairbrushes to be connected to the internet. Now, I know that this seems a little bit odd coming from the bald guy, that I'm going to tell you about the value of a hairbrush, but bear with me just for 1 minute. This is actually manufactured by L'Oreal, and this hairbrush has microphones and sensors inside it, so that when you brush your hair, it can sense whether you're doing a good job, and it'll vibrate and let you know that you're brushing too hard. And then at the end of your hair brushing session, it will account for factors like humidity, temperature, wind, and it can give you a quality score. You kind of see it up there. It says your hair is fragile, is what it says up there. When we actually did this at CES, my colleague who ran it through her hair got a message that said your hair is unruly at the very end. To which I thought, wow, well, that's not going to motivate a lot of people to use this product. And then the marketer there told me they're French and they're not necessarily the best when they choose their words. But the hairbrush is just one example of this explosive growth that we are seeing in connected devices. It is estimated that by 2020, there will be access to the internet. 7 devices per person. When you consider that over 50% of the world doesn't have regular access to the internet, then you're looking at 16 devices connected per person in the world. That's massive. That is massive information. All of those devices are collecting, they're analyzing, and they're sharing. We have to begin to think about who has access to that information and what they're going to be able to do with it. And these devices, to understand just how great this scope is of the threat that we have to privacy and security, just think about all of the devices. Sure, we're talking about everything from your smartphone to your tablets, to your over-the-top video products like Apple TV and Google TV. But we're also looking at lots of other items like your smart home products, a number of which you see up there, the surveillance systems that people have in their home, the thermostats that help us manage our energy efficiency or help us remotely monitor the activities at our home, to connected vehicles where we all can begin to track our vehicle usage, how we drive. And then, of course, there's also the health monitors that are out there, your Fitbits, your pacemakers that are collected, your other health items that we have. So we're talking about a lot of items, and that's just on the consumer side. There's the industrial side as well. You're looking at businesses that have the ability to predict demand patterns for elevators, and therefore can use elevators more efficiently, or gas lines or rail lines where you can put a sensor on the line and know when you need to repair. Make a repair, or this has a great benefit of increasing safety, managing costs. So we've got lots of innovation that's taking place, and all of these are collecting information and then sharing. And that sharing is really motivating us and moving us towards smart cities, right? Where we are suddenly able to predict, with some degree of certainty when trash or garbage should be picked up. These are very serious concerns that come when you start to share all of that information, and who gets access to that information, and what rules should be in place to prevent that, and moreover, how to prevent the harms that come from it. And there are a lot of harms that we're dealing with. Sure, there are traditional consumer privacy harms that is, in particular, harms around nefarious actors obtaining access to personal data. But that's just the beginning of the harms that are potentially out there. Consider fitness trackers, for example. They collect a massive amount of information, not just about the number of steps that I've taken a day, but also about my sleeping habits, when I go to sleep, how long I sleep, and whether or not I've got possibly a period of high stress. But many of these may also diagnose sleep disorders for example, maybe something that's coming in the future. Or let's think even more about where it can be used. I saw today in the news that a police department in the United States has used data from a Fitbit to figure out whether or not a victim of a murder died at the time her husband said she died. And actually, it led toward disproving his alibi, and they've now charged him with murder. So we're beginning to think about all this information, and it's not just useful to the individual who's looking at it, but it's also useful to government when they may want access to it, and it's also useful to marketers who may want access to it, and it's also useful to bad actors who may want to use it as well. Another example, so you have some good results, but you also have some bad. Consider another example around pacemakers, and then I'll get to the cost. Pacemakers, the Food and Drug Administration in the United States just a few months ago released information that showed that hackers could actually remotely access certain pacemakers and implanted defibrillators in the United States and take control of them. This was Dick Cheney's greatest fear, by the way. His biggest fear was that some hacker out there would infiltrate his pacemaker. Well, you can only begin to imagine what happens when you enter a world where hackers can obtain access to pacemakers and begin to change all of the health items that we rely upon. There's another incident back in 2015 when a reporter who was driving a Jeep was able to, he was doing this with certain hackers. They were able to infiltrate the radio of his Jeep and take control of the brakes to begin to tamper with them. Imagine the world with these network vulnerabilities, or when these vulnerabilities to the devices that we're relying upon can suddenly be infiltrated by bad actors. Imagine if we all have connected vehicles and they're all on a road and they can do this all at the same time. These types of attacks are not entirely uncommon. Last year there was a distributed denial of service attack, the Dyn attack, that made news all around the world because it slowed down or stopped websites like Spotify or Twitter or Netflix. This happened because of a vulnerability in baby monitors and webcams that it was a known vulnerability, but one that had not been patched. And as a result, this attack was able to be perpetrated and affect all these websites. This was a massive issue, and really in the United States reminded us of just how secure a lot of these devices that we all rely upon are. So what do? Well, we have to enter a world where we're going to assume that everything could be hacked. That's how we have to proceed as a government, as a regulator. At some point, it's likely to happen. And if that's going to happen, how do we best protect ourselves to ensure that any attack is mitigated? And frankly, that means that we have to get industry to recognize and take security and privacy by they have to account for it earlier in the process. This is a concept that we refer to as a security by design or privacy by design, which means all these wonderful innovators who are out there developing products right now really need to begin to think now about the security and privacy risks and build that into their model rather than trying to think about it after the fact. Note that this is a problem that isn't just fixed in the United States. This is frankly a global problem that we have as well that we're dealing with. And so, as I bring this to an end, I want to just say lastly, there are great benefits to this technology that we're all taking advantage of, but the privacy risks are there and the security risks are there as well. And I encourage everyone to begin to build this into their product design. Thank you.